What's going on, guys? We are looking at a very special livery here today. This one I made very specifically, not necessarily to be used by the team itself, but more as like here's what we can do with the 2018 game, and let's look forward to what we can do hopefully on 2019 with the new customizability with the online liveries at least. Now, team put out, as soon as the announcement came out, this little render of a car. Then I fired back a few days later, or a few weeks later, with this, which was what we're going to be showing off today. It's took a little bit of work with the full kit, more or less. You can see the race suit here, and we've actually got James's helmet there that we made from a little while back. But just kind of keep a Veloce style in this video. We've got two of the drivers that they have on screen now. Is the full kit that we have with the helmets, race suit, pit crew, umbrella, and also the team wear, the shirts that you see Storm and James wearing when they were participating in the Project Cars tournament. So we've got a few screenshots here of the car on track and stuff like that. Probably my favourite shot, the one just before, but here's a good angle shot of the blue. A little bit of a filter on the picture, of course, just to make the blue pop a little bit, rather than the general grainy kind of stuff. There's the pit crew with the front wing obviously ready for any incidents that may occur throughout a race or something like that. But we're going to jump straight into the race, more or less. You can see a little bit of the background of the strategy, but that's not important. What we're looking at now is inside the car, and obviously looking at the little shirts we've got going on there. So all the team in the Veloce shirts, fantastic. It actually looks incredibly well done, especially in the game. I was quite surprised how well it came out. The race suits, though, were done by Kine, so shout out to Kine for letting me use it for this video and moving forward. So the gameplay in the background is just the 25% race around Mexico, nothing too fancy, and that's just by the by. But as you can see, obviously we're racing as James, and we got Sonic, who's also in the other Veloce car, with his helmet as well, which I did for him a little bit before James, so it was literally a stroke of luck. Sonic asked me to do a helmet for him, and then completed that. He was over the moon, and then I think a few hours later James popped up to me and was like, "You did a good job, can you do this?" And I absolutely loved working on the helmets, and both of the Veloce, but all of them so far have been absolutely top when it comes to the esports drivers, as well as the content makers like Ben, Arav, as well as Joe. So that's been fantastic. Like this livery as a whole, when I saw the original one that they posted up on, obviously it was a little quick one, just to get it out there as quick as possible from the announcement that F1 2019 would have these multiplayer liveries. I knew I wanted to do something like it, and I was really happy with how it turned out. The biggest pain in the butt, I tell you now, was the camo, because obviously Veloce have a very specific kind of camo. You can't find it, obviously. Simple Google search for blue camo, it just doesn't come up. So I had to make it from scratch. So it's not exactly right, and same with the camo on the shirts. It's completely different to any of the other camo that they have, but we managed to get a pretty good job, pretty close as far as I'm concerned to how accurate it is. The umbrella was more or less the same. I just chucked the same camo on, and it just came out really well. And I think with the helmets as well, the two helmets I've done before, it really brings it together really well, because originally it was just the car, and I was going to do a video, send some screenshots, and send it over. But as I put it on the game, I kind of like, this looks a bit boring, a bit empty. So I cracked on with the race suits, and I thought, that'd be good if we had the team wear, the pit crew, the pit helmet, and then it just spiraled into more or less a whole team package. Obviously, there's not everything done. There's no garages, or there's no, career hub or stuff like that. But maybe in the future, when 2019 comes out, probably do a whole package just for the Veloce boys, just to have something there, if they want to use it in a career mode or just race with it in general or stuff like that. It's honestly, I'll be honest with you, I made quite a few liveries obviously with the season one and stuff like that, but this has to be probably one of the ones I'm most proud of. It's got a purpose to a certain degree. Obviously, we're not going to see it running any leagues or anything like that, but just as a whole, I wanted to do a good job, and I feel like I've done that myself. So I'm really happy with this livery. Same with the helmets. The helmets I was over the moon with, especially James. That was really challenging to get some of the stuff on the helmet. I remember the most difficult part for me was on the back of the helmet. You would have seen earlier, there's playing cards with the Joker in, and I had to make them from scratch, and that was really difficult. I remember bugging James to try and get me as many images as you can of all the stuff on the back and the side. Just try and get as close as possible, and ended up going with the Race of Champions photos to get that done properly. But Sonic's helmet, that was more of a challenge. That was probably the first proper helmet I sat down and actually took my time. But I think it took about, I want to say 12 hours, give or take, just to make sure I get it done properly, and it looks good, and stuff like that. But I can't complain. Absolutely love doing work for the Veloce boys, and in all honesty with you guys, I wouldn't really do I don't really do requests very often or stuff like that, or just do little bits here and there and just post them out and just feel a reception. But stars somewhat aligned, and it just came out really well. And I'm really harsh critic when it comes to my work, especially. Take my season mod for example. I look at it now, I can't stand it. I hate it. It's just awful. I don't know how it's done so well compared to JB's, whose is, my opinion, a much better mod. But it's obviously just not. It just came out at the wrong time, I feel. But all in all, I'm looking forward to 2019 and see what we can do with that. Fortunately, I didn't get a beta access, so I couldn't actually dissect the files and see, what we can do, what we can't. But from stuff I've heard around, it looks promising. It looks really promising. Helmets will be a bit difficult, so probably implementing them will take a little bit of time. Same with any other program. It always takes a while for the mods to kick in. But I'll be honest, don't be surprised if you see a Veloce livery popping around on 2019 within the first month or so, depending on how we can implement it. And stuff like that, which is, I'm looking forward to it. And anything else that comes up in the future, I love helping out with any requests usually. Some probably a little bit more difficult than others, of course, when people want you to make a whole mod from a specific season. But anything like this, it's just always good fun, and I like a challenge. And this whole little package, which I managed to pump out in a day, apart from the car, it's one of those things, and it's quite rewarding when you look back at it, and it's just, it looks done, it looks really well done. But fortunately I couldn't make it onto the podium in this race and get James up on the podium in Mexico, but doesn't matter, he won the Race of Champions, so that's all that matters. But that's been it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you like the car. I'm absolutely in love with it. But until then, guys, that's all it for me. Bye bye.